Hello everyone, this is Dr. Achal and I welcome you again in our subject module titled as Services Marketing and its Strategies. In the previous discussion, we have dealt with one of the important concept of maintaining good relations with the customers, and that was being talked of as customer relationship management. Here in today's discussion, we will be dealing with services that is being required in the case of the services organization, and the services primarily in the form of the after sale. That is, we know that as in the case of the services organization, we are not dealing with the manufacturing of the tangible commodities, but even then after the disposition of the abstractness and the deeds and the associations of the processes by the service provider, it is an imperative duty for them to take care of the needs and the expectations of the people even if after the purchase process has happened so. And this is what is being talked of as a strategy of maintaining a good credible relations among the customers. So, in today's discussion, we will be dealing with the topic of after sale services that is being required in the cases of the services discipline. Now, moving on with the slide, this particular slide it shows out the concept and the significance, what is the meaning of the after sale services, especially in case of the services organization, what do you mean, and what is the importance and the characteristics that can be seen by the service provider. The after sale services, they are referring to the support provided to the customers following the purchase of a service. These services play a crucial role in customer satisfaction and loyalty. After sale services, also known as post purchase services, are the activities and the support provided to the customers after they have purchased a product or a service. Earlier also we have reiterated on the same fact that as in a marketer, it is a very important duty for each and every marketer to just take into consideration that they are not being expected only with the proper disposition of the services, the attraction of the customers towards their offerings, but apart from that they are equally being important enough to take care of the meeting out their expectations and aspirations which the people are holding on their mind even if after the purchase and the consumption has happened towards a specific offering. So, in case of the services discipline, it is very imperative here to take care of the needs and the changing aspirations and expectations of the people, how they are evolving. Their lifestyle are changing, the preferences are changing, the psychological variables which are shaping up their personality, the psychological variables which are there within their own unique characteristics, defining out their own unique characteristics should be comprehended, and it should be it should be explored even if after the consumption has happened by a specific target group of people. So, the after sale services, here we are seeing that this is very much being important enough in case of the services discipline, because we have to maintain that particular trust and loyalty amongst the customers, and because of all these techniques, that is the technique of getting in touch with the customers, as we have already discussed in our previous discussion in the concept of the customer relationship management. We have said that it is an important duty for the service provider to have greater engagement with the customers, to always be associated with them, to be ready to serve them 24/7 hours, especially in case of the pure services, to be associated, to having a good ties with them, and that is what was being talked of as a strategy of customer relationship management. So, talking of with regard to the after sale services, we can primarily say that this is also one of the technique to build upon a credence, to build upon a loyalty and trust amongst the customers, and then only the customers will definitely, they will be trying to act as in a word of mouth publicity, and your offerings, the good qualities and the good credence of your offerings will be circulated amongst the target audience, not only amongst the target audience, amongst the masses in a way of the viral marketing. So, this was all about the definition. Moving on with the types of the after sale services, what are the important categories and the types of the forms of the after sale services that can be seen in the cases of services discipline. We are seeing that the important types of the after sale services are in the very first form, they are in the form of the customer support, that is providing assistance and troubleshooting for the product or the service issues. We know that as the services, they are intangible and heterogeneous, they are perishable, they are having out a characteristic of uniqueness and abstractness. So, providing out support to the customers in order to meet out with any kind of problem which they are facing of with regard to the purchase, and after the purchase regarding the uses of the particular offering. And then in that particular situation, you as a provider, you have to help them out towards giving them a greater ease, towards giving them the greater convenience, so that the particular problem can be resolved in a very prompt basis. So the troubleshooting in case of the product or the services, as the product itself, they are intangible, so it is very important duty for a marketer to just look into this particular consideration, that they are always there for the help of the customers 24/7, and that will be one of the technique of the after sales services. Now the next one is a warranty and guarantee. Here we are seeing that it is revolving around the concept of offering service, offering repair services, replacement and refund of the defective products or the services. We know the warranty and the guarantee, they are being given especially in case of the manufacturing of the tangible products or the tangible commodities, but in the case of the services itself, especially in case of the associated services, we are witnessing that there exists a certain kind of tangible commodity, and along with the purchase and the consumption of the tangible goods, we are equally being concerned towards assimilating out the intangible benefits, the associations. So here warranty and guarantee that is being offered by the marketers to the customers, maybe in the form of the products that is being purchased by the customer, and they are in the form of the associated services. The physical tangible product is also there, and along with the purchase and the consumption of the tangible evidence, there lies profound influence of the services or the abstractness which the customers try to go in for. So this warranty and guarantee, especially it is being associated with the consumption of the physical product that do require certain kind of replacement, or with the users and with the users of that particular tangible commodity, it requires certain kind of repair facilities. They do require certain kind of maintenance to go upon, and obsolescence factor definitely it will be coming with the due passage of time. So how to get rid of this particular problem of repair, or how to give a proper facility regarding the maintenance of the product, or so it means that here the guarantees and the warranties are especially, they are also being talked of as one of the technique of the after sales services. Now the next category, that is the technical support, that is providing technical support in the guidance of the product users. There can be instances in which even if the product is being purchased and consumed by us for the purpose of enhancing our abstractness, for the purpose of giving our beautification, or for the purpose of giving them or trying to have a certain kind of feeling, a cherished moment to cherish upon, a greater experience to be treasured upon. So it means that these kind of experiences, the moments, the beauty, the appreciation, the recognition with the purchase and the consumption of the product, they are the primary factor of the services discipline. But even then, for the purpose of assimilating out these primary offerings, it is very important to have the supplemental aids, to have the facilitating kind of goods, and these facilitating goods, they do require certain kind of technical assistance to work in a proper way. So here in case of the after sales services, we are providing the technical support, and especially with regard to the people who are holding on to a greater qualification, who have a greater knowledge regarding a specialized discipline. They are holding on a technical expertise, and they are providing out that particular support to the customers, so that the customers may be able to use out the offerings and the products at a greater ease, with a greater accessibility. So providing technical assistance and the guidance. The next one is in a training and education. Now it is all being related with offering training programs or educational resources to help out the customers to use out the products and the services effectively. We know that as the people in our organization and the establishment, they do need to have a certain kind of orientation and a training intermittently. At the same point of time, from the perspective of the customers, they do need to have certain kind of orientation and a training. The awareness level should be increased. They should be informed regarding the user's pattern of the newer offerings. They should be made aware regarding how to use out the products. So all these kind of things, all these kind of flotation of the information, or the dissemination of the awareness and the information can only be made if you as a marketer, you are trying to organize certain kind of training and education to be given out to the customers at large. So then this can be said as one of the important technique of giving a greater input, giving a greater access and accessibility to the customers, even if after the purchase and the consumption has happened at their point of time. So, this training and education may be talked of as an important technique of the after sales services, so that the customers will be able to get an adequate knowledge of the uses of the product. They will be having an adequate information regarding do's and the don'ts of the products, how to use out the specific offering to get out the best results. So, all these kind of things should be given, the information should be floated to the customers, so that they will be coming out within the best kind of uses facility. Now, it's all being related within the next slide. It says that there are other certain important factors or certain important techniques of the after sales services, and we have been concerned with the maintenance and the upkeep, wherein we are seeing that providing out the maintenance services or the recommendations to ensure product longevity and performance. Now, as in the cases of the services discipline, we are being concerned towards the uses of the associated services. There are certain kind of pure services that we have already talked of, whose credence qualities is difficult to determine because of the abstractness and the intangibility. Similarly, there are the certain kind of essential services, the pure essential services that we have said that their credence qualities is difficult to determine. There are certain other categories of the services which are basically in the form of the associated services. So, their maintenance and upkeep is important enough because they are having a mixed blending of tangible commodities, and apart from the tangible commodities, we as customers, we are enjoying out the decor, the abstractness, the beauty, the charisma, the versatility, the important thematic representation, the artifacts, the beauties. I mean, all this abstractness and the intangibility is also being associated with the purchase and the consumption of the physical commodity. So, that is why we are seeing that it is in the form of the associated services, and definitely it is imperative here to take into account that their maintenance and upkeep is also important. So, we are saying that providing out the maintenance services or the recommendations to ensure out the product longevity and the performance, trying to keep out the customers abreast with the different kind of changes, trying to give them creating them an awareness factor amongst their users, amongst the users of a specific offering, the different kind of versatility, or if the product is being put into alternative uses, the product is having a multifarious use, their information should be given out to the customers. How to get on with the best kind of uses facility to improve out the longevity and the shelf life of the product, and the performance. Definitely it will be affected if you are trying to use out the product or associated product in a best kind of way. So, the maintenance and the users factor, the information regarding the proper maintenance and the users factor should be given out to the customers by the service providers, and that will be talked of as an important technique of the after sales services. Similarly, there is another technique, that is the upgrades and the enhancements, and this says that offering upgrades and the enhancements to the existing products or the services. We know that automatically referring to a primary core product itself, it is being composed of the different levels of the one particular product is being composed of the different levels of its own its own formation. So, the different levels, as we have said that it is being composed of the primary one, the core benefits are there. Similarly, the next level of the primary offering is being associated with a basic offering. The core offering is there, basic offering is there, and then expected level of the offering is there, that is the product, the expected level of the product is there. Similarly, we are having an augmented level of product after expectation, and the last level of the product is all being associated with a potential level. So, if we talk of with regarding the different levels of the core product, that is the core product and the basic product, after the core and the basic product, there lies in a next level of the product, that is being said as an expected product, and thereafter we have been concerned with the augmented one, and the potential one is there. So, in any of the levels, definitely the expected level of the product is what is being talked of, that we as a marketer, we are trying to meet up with the expectations of the customers. But in today's competitive scenario, we are seeing that we do not have to meet up with the expectations of the customers, but we have to give them a delightment factor. So, how to give them a delightment factor? How to just not only give them a contentment, to give them the contentment and the satisfaction will be there if the actual performance of the product is equal to the expectations of the customers. But when the actual performance of the product is more than the expectations and the aspirations of the customers, then what will happen? Definitely it will be in a situation wherein the customers will be feeling out a delightment factor, because they will be evaluating out that the purchase that they have made regarding the sacrifice they has made regarding the paying of the particular a specific cost has been given for the purpose of purchase and use of a specific product. So that particular cost is good enough, it is reasonable enough with regard to reaping out the benefits from that particular purchase. So if they are trying to make out a comparison between the utility they are deriving from the cost, definitely they will be able enough to evaluate out the value that is being reaped by them after the purchase and the consumption of a specific offering. So we are saying that this particular, after the expectations of the customers, that is the expected level of the product, if certain augmentations is being done, if certain add-ons are being done, or improvisations are being done, or deletions may also be, it may also be done by the producer or by the provider. And now all these improvements, all these improvisations, add-ons or the deletions that is being done in the case of the augmented level of the product, they are only being done for the purpose of making out a newer kind of way. They are only being done for the purpose of making out the customers feel that they are coming with a newer variant, even if the core offering is same. But making out certain additions and the deletions or improvisations in the augmented level of the product will make out the customers feel that they are getting out something new, and maybe with regard to making a superficial differentiation regarding the color, texture, the container, the size of the container can be changed, the color combination, the appeal, all these kind of advertisement appeal can also be changed. All these kind of changes can be made so that newer appeal or a newer creative variant is being introduced in the market area. So if that particular strategy is being pursued, and definitely it is being pursued by the marketers in the form of the upgradation, in the form of the enhancement of the utility of the primary offering. So regarding this situation, regarding this improvement or the improvisation, the information should be given out to the customers, so that the customers may be able enough to know that how the primary product or how the new product will be used as distinct, or how they are being different enough as compared to the existing product, how the newer version of the existing product will be good enough for them to meet out with their augmented, to be above their expectations, and what are the benefits that they are reaping above their expectations, which will be talked of as an augmented kind of improvisations made in the augmented level of the product. So the information regarding these enhancements, regarding these improvisations and the these kind of additions and the deletions should be given out to the customers, so that they will be able enough to recognize out the distinct characteristics of the uniqueness with which the augmented level of the product has made. Now the next one is customer loyalty programs. We are seeing that implementing out the loyalty programs to reward repeat customers, encourage out the repeat purchase. We know that earlier also we have said that there are certain kind of there are certain kind of customers who are falling in the category of the repetitive, and who are very much being willing enough to make out the repetitive purchase decision, and they are falling in the category of the hardcore loyalist. Similarly, there are certain other categories of the customers who are showing out the tendency of the soft core loyalist, and the last one of the category of the customers, they are the switchers or the fickle minded customers. Now the very first category of the customers, that is the hardcore loyalist of the customers, they are the people, they are the individuals who are moving in for the purchase decision again and again with regard to their specific brand, with regard to their specific offering. So if they are in a frequent purchase, if they are in a move of the frequent purchase, definitely they should be rewarded enough, and that reward may be in the form of building up a customer loyalty programs. They can be given out with certain kind of discounts and the coupons. They should be rewarded in the form of categorizing them as premium customers. They can be given redeemed coupons to build up on a loyalty and the trust factor amongst them. So these customer loyalty programs, they are being created and they are being floated by the marketers and the service providers in order to just make out these repetitive, in order to just make them distinct enough, to make them recognizable enough that these are the categories of the customers who are very much being frequently using out their offerings. We can take an example, like suppose the people who are frequent flyers, or the professionals or the business class people who are the frequent flyers of the of the airline, specific airline industry, then they are being given within a special treatment regarding the executive class, and they are being offered within a special kind of certain kind of facility add-ons, and the premiums are being given to them, so that their frequent purchase or their frequent flying purchase habit, the frequent flying habit can be associated with them for a longer period of time. So, this customer loyalty program is also one of the technique of building up in a good relations and being talked of as an after sales services in case of the services discipline. Now, moving on with the next the associated phenomena, that is the building up the loyalty in case of the services. We are seeing that the effective after sales services, they are fostering out the customer loyalty, encouraging out the repetitive business and referrals. Organizations must invest in training staff and developing processes that prioritize customer satisfaction. So, building up trust and loyalty, how to build up the trust and loyalty? Building up a trust and loyalty, this or maybe we can say that this is one of the technique of maintaining a good credible relations for a longer period of time. To be associated, to have a good ties with the customers for a longer period of time. This is one of the technique of the after sales services to have this particular phenomena of maintaining a good credible relations, building up a trust and loyalty amongst the people. So, effective after sales services, we are seeing that they are fostering out the customer loyalty. Definitely that is an important objective to pursue upon. We are seeing that if this particular strategy is being deployed by the marketer, that will lead automatically towards repetitive purchase decision on the part of the customers, and that may also be in the form of the business referrals. The customers themselves, they may be referring out to your specific offering to be get consumed by the others in the form of the word of mouth publicity. And we are also adding that the organizations must invest in training of the staff and developing processes that prioritize out the customer satisfaction. Earlier, this particular point has already been highlighted in one of our concept of internal marketing, and especially in case of the services, we are seeing that these people who are being talked of as an important sensitive asset of your organization, they have to be intermittently trained, they have to be given out with the training, so that they can be building, it can be helpful for them to build up on a to come up with a good rapport, to come up and to instill out certain kind of important qualities amongst their personalities in the form of the empathy, in the form of the resilience or the persistence that they should be holding out in their behavioral pattern, in their disposition of the services, because they are acting as a frontline executive, and these people even if they are acting at a back end staff, they are playing out the role of the back end staff, even then they need to have that particular orientation to be providing out the disposition of the services in the best possible way. So, prioritizing out the customer satisfaction is very important, and here in case of the services, it is more so important because we are dealing out with the intangibility factor, we are dealing out with an abstractness factor. So, this is more being prominent enough in case of the services organization. Moving on to the next slide, now how to measure out the success of this technique. And we are seeing that there are certain key performance indicators such as customer satisfaction scores, repetitive purchase rates, the service response time, which will be helping to assess the effectiveness of the after sales services. Now, the key performance indicators in the form of the customer satisfaction scores, the repetitive purchase rates, the services response times, all will be helping us out to assess and to measure out the effectiveness of the after sales services. It means that as a marketer, if you want to just have a certain look, certain kind of measuring mechanism that whether we are proceeding in the right way or whether what is the response that we are getting out from the customer's perspective, or whether there is any shortfall or the pitfalls that is being seen in our procedural policy regarding the after sales services. So, this particular kind of measurement can be done with the help of the key performance indicators, and these key performance indicators are in the form of the customer satisfaction scores or the repetitive purchase decision that the customers are going in for the purchase process, and these are being acting as parameters to assess our efficacy of the after sales services, the technique of the after sales services. Now, there are different strategies for the effective after sales services. What are the different strategies that the marketers has to take into account for pursuing out this technique in a more effective way. And they are in the form of the customer centric approach. We are prioritizing out the customer needs and the satisfaction in all the after sales services. Definitely it is in the need of the hour, and we are evolving, and we are we are pursuing out the concept of the holistic marketing concept, wherein we are saying that or the modern marketing concept, it starts from the identification of the customer needs, and we are prioritizing out the customers as a kingpin. We are treating them as a kingpin, and all our efforts, all our endeavors, they are being hovering around meeting out the identification of the needs and the expectations of the customers. So the customer centric approach is definitely very much being important enough, even in the strategy of pursuing out the technique of after sales services. The next one is efficient supports channel, and this says that offering multiple channels for customer support, such as phone call or email, chats and social media. Support channels may be on any of the form, depending upon the nature of your offering, depending upon the target audience, your feasibility. You may go in for adoption of any of the support assistance for providing greater ease and accessibility to the customers, maybe in the form of the that will be definitely that will be categorizing as an important form of after sales services, like you are giving them a support in the form of 24/7 hours customer support assistance in the form of the telephonic conversation. The email facilities also there. You are trying to create a pop-up chat facility, so that if the customers are not able to connect with you out with the form of the telephonic conversation, they will be able to drop in a message in the form of the chats, and they will be able to come up with their problems that they are facing. And social media definitely is a very important technique to talk of. Similarly, what are the other strategies regarding the training of the staff, ensuring that the customer support staff are knowledgeable, helpful and responsive? Already we have reiterated over the fact that this is the people who are playing a very important role, and they are acting as an asset for especially for every organization, and especially in the field of the services, they are holding a very profound role, because they are in direct touch with the customer. So their training, their orientation is an important factor, dealing out with the resilience, empathy. As we have already said, that they have to be knowledgeable enough, they have to be that particular kind of exploration of the information regarding the core offering, then only they will be in a position to dispose of the primary or the core offering to the end users in a more effective way. Because if they themselves are not knowing about the about the important exploration about the important users and the functional utility of the primary offering, they will not be able to disseminate out the information to the end users in a more effective way. So that definitely the responsiveness factor, the empathy, the resilience is more to be needed at the part of the staff. The proactive support, that is anticipating out the customer needs and providing the proactive support to prevent out the issues. Proactive support, even if the customers are they are giving you a hint that they are facing this particular kind of grievance, or they are having this particular kind of grievance, you as a support staff, you have to get into touch with the customers proactively. So this proactiveness is what is being talked of as an important strategy to be given, or to be reflected from the functionality of the service providers. Then only they will be coming out with a unique selling proposition. So this proactive support to be needed enough and to be provided. The next one is the personalized services. We know that personalization is being related to the customization, tailoring out your offerings to meet out the aspirations and expectations of the people. And here we are seeing that tailoring the after sales services to the individual's customer needs and the preference, definitely, even if the primary product is being tailored, it is being customized, even then it is imperative enough to customize or to tailor out the after sales services regarding the core offerings to the customer, so that they will be in resonance with the primary purchase of the product and the after sales services that is being given out to them regarding the specific purchase. Continuous improvement is a need of the hour. We are saying that monitoring out the customer feedback and making them ongoing improvements to after sales processes. The customer's feedback should be measured, their suggestions, their improvements, the response factor, all these should be tracked upon, should be measured upon, and then there is always an area for improvement. We will be measuring out, we will be collecting out the information so as to make our products being more improved in the years to come, and that is what is being talked of as having an alignment with the customer's need and expectations. And the next one is being talked of as technology integration, that is utilizing of the technology to stream out the streamline the after sales operation and improve out the efficiency. We know that it's in a changing era. In this changing and dynamic era, we are facing out the users of the technological revolution. There is an important users of the technological gadgets. So, there is an important need to have a collaboration and integration with the technological users, and the technological devices are being used to have a crafting and drafting of the effective marketing strategies. As we have already said that there are different techniques in the form of SEOs, monitoring techniques, and tracking techniques. Similarly, in order to measure out the effectiveness of the customers, we are having a different kind of statistical techniques can be pursued, which together tries to take the help of the technology. We can use out the cloud computing. We are having ERPs are there. We are having different softwares to check out and to measure out the response factor of the customers. So, this technology integration and collaboration is what is being talked about as a need of the hour, and in case of the after sales operations, definitely if it is being used, it will be able to improve out the efficiency of the people. Now, in the next slide, we are seeing that by providing exceptional after sales services, the business can build up the long relationship with the customers, driving out the repeat purchase and the repeat businesses, and differentiating themselves from the competitors. Now, we know that the main and the primary objective of the after sales services is to just build up a good credible relations, and if this particular good credible relations is being developed, definitely it will lead towards driving out a repetitive purchase decision on the part of the customers. And you as a provider, you will be able to differentiate the distinct uniqueness. You will be able to differentiate yourself as a distinct unique quality to outsmart your competitors. Quality and the distinct images, the distinct qualitative features of your offerings, which is very much being unique in nature, and with this in this way you will be able to outsmart out your competitors. So, differentiation amongst your competitors is very important enough, and here by going for the persuasion of the by going in for the deployment of the after sales strategy, we will be able enough to differentiate your offerings. Now, in the conclusion, we are saying that the services marketing, they present a unique challenges and opportunities across various sectors, including tourism, financial services, not for profit seeking organization, international services and professional services. Understanding the intricacies of these areas allows the marketers to develop targeted strategies that resonate with their audiences, foster loyalty and drive business sales. Now, earlier we have discussed out the concept of the different specific areas, especially in case of the tourism sector. We have discussed about the strategies that is being deployed with the financial sector, the insurance sector or the banking sector. We have also taken into account the procedural plans of the non-profit seeking organization. Now, all these sectors which are dealing out with the flotation of the pure services, where their credence quality is difficult to determine, we are saying that if we as a marketer, if we are trying to develop out or we are trying to pursue out the strategy of after sales services in a more effective way, that will be helping us out to drive out or to boost out the sales of our product, to build up on a greater fostering out a greater loyalty and trust amongst the audiences. And definitely that will pay in a long run towards building up a rapport and the goodwill of your organization. So, this was all about in today's lecture. That is, in today's discussion, we have dealt with the topic of the after sales services, that is duly being important in the case of the services discipline, and I hope that you have understood the concept of the after sales in the cases of services. So, till then, stay safe and stay blessed. Thank you all for joining.